Just another sport with a ball that I can beat you at.
Golf?
Can't wait to beat you.
Racquetball?
Can't wait. Keep listening.
Running?
That's not a sport with a ball.
Alright folks, we're the Ridge Runners and we're back and better than ever with a new edition of the Weekly Rundown, where we talk about all things trail and ultra running in Southeast Ohio and all the running news from the East Coast. I'm your host, the faster host, Michael Owen.
And I'm the better host, Wesley Harton. This week we're coming to you from the OVRC studios with the results from the No Business 100, the Indiana Trail 100, the Feral Hog 50K, and the controversy at the Minster 10K. We'll also highlight this week's happenings from the world of Strava and all the other running news from the area. But first, a look at the Barte Streak.
Thank you, Wesley. First, I need to make a correction, however. Last week, I falsely reported that Paul Barte extended his weekly half marathon distance streak to 410 weeks. Dang it, he was only at 409 weeks.
I knew you guys needed me last week.
It's actually better without you. Sorry, Paul, but I didn't jinx him because on Monday, Barte ran 13.19 miles to achieve a true 410 weeks. His entire run was on the bike path, and this time he ran solo. At the time of recording, his run had amassed 120 kudos, which is slightly lower than his normal streak extender. Tune into the show next week to see if Barte can extend his weekly half streak to 411 weeks. Now, on the race results. At the Cloud Splitter 100, Harnain Alves was the men's 100-mile champion in a time of 22 hours, 13 minutes. Congrats, Harnain. Hans Gehrig was second place. At the time of recording, complete results were not posted. Race directors. And Ohio runner Zach Marin blazed it and won at the Indiana Trail 100 this past weekend in a time of 16 hours and 1 minute. Wow, Ohio runners really racking up those 100-mile wins lately.
OH.
No, not doing that. And the No Business 100 ran for a second year in Kentucky with parts of the one loop course crossing into Tennessee. Similar to some of the popular 100s out west, like the Hard Rock 100 and the Leadville 100, the No Business 100 starts and ends in an abandoned coal mining town of Blue Heron, Kentucky.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Amy McIntyre and Jonathan Ferriade were the women's and men's winners. McIntyre ran 25 hours, 52 minutes. Ferriade's time was not yet posted. Second and third on the men's side was Patrick Moran and Tim Hill. The rest of the women's results have not yet been made available.
The Feral Hog 50K is a one-loop course in East Fork State Park near Cincinnati. In the run division, Andrew Zeminski took the top place with a time of 5 hours and 48 minutes. Second place overall was Heather Blankenship, and she was also the top female. Blankenship ran 6 hours and 21 minutes and bested the course record by 30 minutes. In the ruck category, there were just 7 completions, all male, with Mark Klettinger being the fastest rucker in 8 hours and 47 minutes.
Do you know what a ruck is?
I do now. It's like letter C on the multiple choice test.
Yep. And now for the rant of the week. The Minster Oktoberfest 10K took place 2 weeks ago, and we have some breaking news that we were made aware of. Apparently there were some accounts of banditing that took place during this popular 10K, with friend of the show, Sarah Beal, being the most notable. Sarah ran 36:05 and would have been 6th overall female, but she did not have a bib, nor was listed in the results. As a race director myself, I believe banditing races is strictly prohibited and is highly frowned upon. However, after hearing reports of the event from several eyewitnesses, including Sarah herself, part of the blame could be put on race organizers. From those eyewitness accounts, we learned that there were nearly 200 people, maybe more, waiting in line to register, with the line reaching out the doors. It appeared that the holdup had something to do with the computers that they were registering on. As the race time approached and the line was still very deep, the RD announced that they would delay the start by 15 minutes. But I guess some people decided still not to register to risk missing the start. My suggestion is for runners to pre-register for races. It's easy, and it only makes your race morning less of a hassle.
However, race organizers are expected to have the pieces in place to prepare for race day registration, including the number of volunteers, an appropriate understanding of the systems, and the space required to handle a large race day crowd.
Personally, I don't know whose side I stand on here, so just shame on everybody, really. Rant over. Other local runners who ran the Minster 10K was Neil Hertenstein, finishing in 19th place in 34:07. Zach Holbert was 35th place, 38:21, admitting that he packed it in after a couple miles.
The Tri-Valley Conference Cross Country Championships took place at Alexander High School this past weekend, where all the local high school runners competed for their conference title. On the boys' side, it was no surprise that Athens High School, who ran away with the overall team title with just 18 points, well ahead of second place Vinton County. Athens senior standout Tony Takovich ran 1 second off his PR and the school record with his winning time of 16:08.
Wow.
Ouch, my legs hurt just saying that. On the girls' side, Vinton County is staking a claim to be one of the best local high school teams by edging out Athens for a second straight year. Riley Fee of Vinton County was the individual champion with a time of 19:19. Well done, everyone.
Good job, TVC runners. Now for our Strava rundown, where each week we highlight all the interesting activities from the East Coast and our Strava club. We heard you loud and clear, Ridge Runner Nation, so we created a new Strava club just for you. If you want to get noticed on the rundown, join the Ridge Runners Club on Strava and visit the link below. What are you doing over there?
The dance move of the week.
Oh, okay.
It looks like Chad Bowen had the runs on his run, pun intended.
Oof.
He stated that he needs to stop his coffee before his run routine. Don't worry, Chad, we've all been there.
Yep.
Your bowels will either get used to the coffee or you'll just get real intimate with the side of the trail. Chad also ran the Great Columbia Crossing 10K in Astoria, Oregon this weekend. The race starts on the Washington state side and crosses the beautiful 101 bridge back into the Oregon side.
Why are we doing West Coast races, Wes?
I drove over this bridge earlier this year and it is absolutely stunning.
Gotcha.
Chad averaged 6:04 miles for the race. Congrats on the speedy race, Chad.
And Braden Gates of Columbus had a tune-up interrupted by a skunk on this run midweek. A skunk ran out in front of him. He thought it was a rabbit, and then realized what it was, and he claims that he hurdled the skunk.
He probably got some extra vert for that.
In a faster pace. Braden reports the skunk sprayed in the opposite direction, so he got out safe. Cool, man, cool. Phew, glad you were safe.
We also have some funny people in the Strava group who decided to title their runs Barte style?
Barte-esque.
Gordon Gifford titled his midweek run part with Jess, Jeff, and Austin, half with PJ, and a bit with Hugh, and a speck with Paul. Hashtag Ridge Runners. Thanks for the shout out, Gordon, and the specific distances that those people joined you for.
Thanks, Gordon. Hugh Inslee also had a great title and quote, fantastical, splendiferous, mystical morning run with Barte, 4 scotches with Gordon and 2.5 tads with Luke, plus a few sightings, whatever that means, in quotes. After doing some investigative research, we found out that a scotch is smaller than a smidge and a tad. Who would have guessed? Hugh later wrote in response to his fans asking how he does it, saying, and I quote again, well, my diet consists of equal parts sarcasm, sexual innuendo, and chest puffing. Oh yeah, and beer. Over half with he who must not be named, in quotes.
It looks like Mike Moulton decided to be that guy by running an out and back on the Vegas Strip at 5 p.m. I would have paid to see people's reaction seeing Mike weave in and out of people on the strip. Did he lose a bet? Is this a very slow beer mile? Whatever the thoughts, thanks for sharing your exciting Vegas Strip run with us, Mike.
And congrats on your 5th run of the year. Good job.
Don Lutz hit a game-winning 3-pointer with this title. He stepped back, pump faked, whispered Ridge Runners in the defender's face, and drained the shot.
Did he really?
No.
Oh.
He claimed he did it for the title though, and the kudos. Thanks for the shout out, Don, and solid run.
John Dolovaki III ran midweek and claimed that he didn't mean to, but made this outline of Ohio with his route.
OH?
No, not doing that. This leads us to ask, have you ever made a shape with one of your runs? If so, shoot us a pic. And if not, how creative can you be this week? Lastly, we were made aware of this video of a new to us sport. Nothing else really needs to be said here, so just watch.
Maxi Sanchez, he goes from outside the court for the return. Point continues, and then his partner, Carlos Gutierrez, actually wins the point. Sanchez and Gutierrez won the title in 3 sets. It's just ridiculous.
That was an amazing out the door, in the door technique. Who wants to join me on giving up ultra marathon running to start a career in this sport? Still under the name. Wesley claims to be an amazing athlete at all ball sports, so I can't wait to find a court to challenge you on.
Just another sport with a ball that I can beat you at.
Golf?
Can't wait to beat you.
Racquetball?
Can't wait. Keep listening.
Running?
That's not a sport with a ball. And with that, thanks for tuning into this week's rundown from the Ridge Runners. Be sure to check back next week where we'll deliver news on the Columbus Marathon, Laz's Big Backyard Ultra, the Door County Fall 50, the Uwharrie 100 and 100K, the Broken Toe 50K, and more. If you're running the Columbus Marathon or have anything exciting to share or add to the show, drop us a line on either Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook.
Oh yes, the Columbus Marathon. Wesley and I will both be out there running the full marathon, so give us a shout out if you see us on those city streets. Even though it's just 2 weeks post 100 for myself, I have a healthy head-to-head bet with 4 former OU cross-country runners. If they beat me, I owe them their first round of beers, but if I win, they each have to buy me an order of fried pickles from Jackie O's. See you out there. Can't wait.
In addition, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell below. You'll be notified every single time we release a video. You can also now find us on podcast form in Apple iTunes and Google Play. I'm your host, the better host, Wesley Harden.
And I'm your faster host, Michael Owen.
And we'll see you next week on The Weekly Rundown.